There's yet another intense European night at Celtic Park, and once again the stakes could scarcely be higher. A capacity crowd inside the stadium, reduced, mind you, to 35,000 to comply with UEFA regulations, but notwithstanding recent difficulties, these Celtic supporters in excellent hearts. Manager Liam Brady has chosen that side to solve three problems. First, he depends on two of his foreigners, Stuart Slater and Andy Payton, to provide the goal thrust with Gerry Creaney up front. Secondly, he depends on his third foreigner, Tony Mowbray, to link up with Mike Galloway to prevent any defensive leaks which could end the tie. And finally, he depends on all 11 to restore Celtic's pride after 4 defeats in 5 matches. And the three foreigners rule eliminates Packy Bonar from the goalkeeping position and gives Gordon Marshall a chance to reassert his right to a first-team place after missing the last 3 matches. Colgne send out that team with defence in mind. Only Frank Ordenovic will play up front. There are 3 internationals in all: Ilkner in goal, Ordenovic both for Germany, and Andrej Rudi, who has won 11 caps for Poland. But as promised, there's no place for Pierre Lidbarski. And that young man, Carsten Keuler, at 21, starts a first-team match for Cologne for the very first time. He wears number 9, but will play in the heart of the defence. It's a potential baptism of fire. And the referee this afternoon, or this evening, is Guy Gotals from Belgium, the son of the former Belgian international manager. The events of the last week or two would certainly give Cologne the edge for this match. After Celtic's desperate run recently, going out of the Skoll Cup to Aberdeen a week ago, and also struggling in the league. 4 defeats in all in the last 5 matches, whereas Cologne, after a very poor start, and a fine victory against Borussia Mönchengladbach on Saturday. Here's Galloway. Stay comes for the ball short. Good pressurising tactics by Cologne. This is Steinman. Held, taking the ball on the run, showing enough of that to Galloway to allow Celtic to win possession. Collins across to McNally. Payton working hard, but losing out there to Rudi. There's Creaney with Hegel. Cross well won there by Baumann. A layoff from Ordenovic. This is Horst Held. He played it left back in the first leg. Ordenovic again. He's away from Galloway, goes down, and question marks obviously there by Galloway, showing a little problem with his temperament once again. Clearly believes that the striker dived there. Well, here's Ordenovic, and Galloway going in there slipping. Did he catch Ordenovic? Galloway thought not. Go through, but if there's a weakness in Mike Galloway's makeup, it is that volatile temperament. This is McStay. Brought down quite blatantly there by Rudi. Looking full of purpose there. The Celtic captain leading by example early on. Steinman's headed clearance. Ordenovic on his own, looking for support coming from the back. Greiner is very quick. Away from Galloway. Not a bad effort that by Greiner. But a little reminder there to Celtic. Another problem posed by the pace of Greiner. Good running wide by Payton, followed by his marker Baumann. So it's Baumann on Payton, Hegel on Creaney, Keuler on Slater, Jensen Speer. Lofted in there by Payton. Hegel winning it well. Collins did well to keep that down. Well, he scored some spectacular goals for Celtic, John Collins. Headed away by Hegel. A difficult one to keep down. And Collins managed that, but Ilkner was right behind it. Creaney. Free kick's been given for the tackle on Slater by Coyle. The pace of Slater caused the problem for young Coyle there. Has given Celtic a free kick. Slater still battling to get into this match as a major threat to the Colgne defence. Paul McStay's free kick. Mowbray challenging well. Difficult one for Ilgnar. Well, they had to watch that carefully. Tony Mowbray showing his aerial power there in an attack for Celtic. Good leap by Galloway. This is Grant. Boyd. Payton tried to deceive Bowman there. Took a knock for his trouble. Defender standing firm. Now showing his comfort coming forward. It's back from Galloway. Marshall looking very confident. That's good play by Grant. This is Collins. Tom Boyd on the outside. Covered a lot of ground there, Boyd, to become involved in this attack. And a great save from Ilgnar, from John Collins. Oh, save of real international quality to deny John Collins and Celtic. Boyd's arrival in the left made the difference. It's a fine right foot shot from Collins and a brilliant save. Paul McStay, no one in the far post. Boyd returns it. Collins again. He's been allowed to turn. Well, he was looking for a corner kick there. Thought that might have been deflected. Well, Bodo Ilgnar trying to make an impression to regain his place in the German goal. And this is the sort of quality that he has. Ball from Tony Mowbray, unlikely really to cause problems, although Celtic I think want to keep the ball deep inside the Colgne half at this stage. The long high ball upfield unlikely to open up. The defence is well organised as Cologne's at this stage. There's Baumann going across the bows of Payton. Well, the German defender is winning that particular joust at this stage. Again. Good return pass, there's Payton. Now that is the kind of vintage Celtic play which can make all the difference. Payton and Creaney combining superbly at the edge of the box. The return pass from Creaney was excellent. Payton had to get this on target and he couldn't quite manage it. It's a winning finish from Payton, but a fine move nevertheless. McStay. Creaney gathering the ball well there, holding off Hegel. Collins against Greiner. And corner kick it is to Celtic. Well, the team's always looking for some joy from corner kicks these days. There's a crowd on the near post. Ilgnar comes to meet it. Here's Grant again. Opening it out to the left for Boyd. Chance it on this time. It's a magnificent finish from Paul McStay, and Celtic are right back in the tie. Well, a stunning finish here from Paul McStay as Boyd sent the ball in. A very good aerial challenge. The ball broke there to Paul McStay, his left foot, and that thundering volley left Ilgnar without a chance. Well, the aerial power made a big difference inside the area there. Mowbray in the thick of it. It broke the left foot of Paul McStay, and it's the perfect boost for Celtic after 36 minutes. Well, Paul McStay choosing the European occasion to pick up his second goal of the season only. What a difference that might make. Colgne have a free kick, not a throw as Greiner thought. Steinman, challenged firmly by McStay. Well, if there was a spring in the Celtic step early in the match, it's return to the vengeance now. That's a foul right by Greiner. And the referee will have words with the Colgne number 3, Frankie Greiner, identifying Paul McStay as a major threat in midfield. The bad tackle this, I reckon that Greiner's lucky to avoid a booking here. He knew exactly what he was doing bringing down McStay. And it certainly produced a very angry reaction from Tom Boyd. Barman's header, in goes Grant. McNally's header. Up goes Creaney. McStay again. Well, he's very much in the mood, Paul McStay. Clearly enjoys those European occasions, and he's determined to be involved in more of these this season. Creaney hunting it down. There's Collins. First comes Heagle. Galloway using McStay as a decoy inside. Good running up front by Payton, kept in well by Boyd. Payton has to stay off the field with John Collins. The deflection, it's a goal for Celtic. Gerry Creaney has scored a second, and now the match swings Celtic's way completely. Creaney got the vital touch from the pile driver from Collins. Good play there by Boyd, playing it in. Controlled initially and laid back there to Collins. And there was a touch by Creaney, which left Ilsner helpless. For 2 and 3 minutes from Celtic. And now the tie is on level terms. So the second goal coming after 39 minutes. And Colgne suddenly looking rattled. But it's a time, nevertheless, for Celtic to be diligent in defence. And an away goal can have such a vital bearing on the match. Well, the Celtic dugout with Liam Brady still looking stern there. Steinman couldn't keep the ball in play. Going into time added on for stoppages in the first half. With Gerry Creaney. Collins doing extremely well to keep that in play. Header by Rudy. Mowbray sends it a long way back as the half-time whistle goes, and Celtic lead the field to a tremendous reception. Paul McStay was the man who set them on the way in this tie with a thundering volley after 36 minutes. But then Gerry Creaney deflected the shot from John Collins 3 minutes later to equalise over the 2 legs for Celtic, and now things look extremely promising. The Celtic supporters waiting with great anticipation for the second half. At half-time at Celtic Park, it's Celtic 2, Colgne 0. So there's a completely new complexion on the tie now, with Celtic very much in the driving seat, and Celtic Park buzzing there. During the interval, there's going to be serious trouble up for Greiner. It's a yellow card for the tackle on John Collins. Now, Frank Greiner was very fortunate in the first half not to be booked on 2 occasions, and that would have been an ordering off. So the Belgian referee, at long last, produces a yellow card, and that's the reason for it, and that could so easily have been a red card all on its own. A very tough player, John Collins. He has withstood that searing tackle from Greiner at the start of the second half and looks none the worse. Greiner has been with Collins throughout the match so far. Boyd's cross. And 3 Celtic players were in there. Paul McStay, Stuart Slater and Gerry Creaney, and none of them can get a touch. Well, this is good play again by Tom Boyd. Switching the ball to his right foot for that very dangerous cross. The player jumping highest was Creaney. Here's a help playing it back inside for Fuchs. A very good tackle by Galloway. Decisive, accurate, well timed, and another very clumsy challenge there. That's Ordinovitz. So another change being made, this time by Celtic. The player being withdrawn is Stuart Slater, who really has not been able to make an impact this evening. And the replacement is Joe Miller. Stuart Slater, Celtic's most expensive signing in history at £1.5 million, still to make a real impact on these Celtic supporters. John Collins. He's away from Rudy. This needs an accurate cross behind Creaney and Payton. McNally trying to get to the pitch of that. Rudy again. This is Galloway. That's a good pass. Collins leaves it to Boyd. Change of pace from Boyd and a good effort. Well, the problem for a defender against Boyd is that he can go equally comfortably on either side. This time he goes to his right foot, his natural side. Well, there's a feeling around the stadium that there's some real drama to come. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. It's all even, 2 apiece in aggregate, no away goals. So something must happen tonight. An offside decision given against Joe Miller, I think. A little bit slow coming back. It's not the correct position for Rudy, but I don't think the referee will be too concerned. Barsky towards Heagle. It's well won by Collins. Heagle's out of position. Creaney was the man who was marking. It's his pass which finds Collins. Well, look, Barsky did a fine job defensively there. Look at the way he holds off the challenge from Collins. Now Rudy. Very dangerous ball that to Greiner. And a fine attack that from Colgne. A timely reminder to Celtic. They have to be very diligent in defence. Henry Fuchs with the header in the end. He's frustrated about that. The pace of Greiner on the right, the delicate little chip inside, and the header came from Fuchs. This Fuchs again, good turn of pace. He's brought down by Boyd. And a yellow card, I suspect, for Galloway. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. I don't think that was deliberate at all as he drove that ball against Fuchs, but he was booked to recall on the first leg, so that's serious for Galloway should Celtic qualify. Lidbarsky. Heagle. Lidbarsky again. Rudy calling for the ball in that back position. Alviza. A long deep cross, a good one, and it's well taken by Marshall. Backpedaling furiously and still getting spring into that jump. He did very well indeed. That was a dangerous moment for Celtic. Great cross this from Weiser on the run. A deep long ball to the far post, and goalkeeper Marshall doing extremely well. There's Greiner. Couldn't keep the ball in play though. Still anyone's match. Brave man would predict the outcome of this game now. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Liam Brady's clearly anxious, going by the instructions coming from the Celtic dugout. What a difference this could make to Celtic's season if they could qualify here tonight. The third time in 24 years they've come back from a 2-0 deficit in Europe and won. Good play by Collins. He's made it! It's a superb finish from John Collins, and the Celtic fans are delirious. How about this for real confidence and ability, and a little bit of cheek as well, taking on Jan Jensen on the outside, stretching in there for the toe poke, and stabbed the ball beyond Ildna. Great control from Tom Boyd's throw, going up to Jensen, who expected him to go inside. That's a superb finish. And John Collins may well have scored the winner for Celtic. But you can be absolutely sure now, though, that Colgne will throw everything forward, because if they were able to score just once, they would still go through on the away goals rule. So Celtic have to be very careful indeed. It's going to be a dramatic finish here. He is held. Put under pressure by Miller. It was effective pressure. Held, wins it back, and Bider is in behind McNally. This is dangerous. Thumped away by Mowbray. A chance is on for Jensen. It's deflected. And held on the line by Marshall. There's trouble there on the goal line. And Gordon Marshall reacting angrily to a very reckless challenge made, it appeared, by Greiner, who's already been booked. Well, that was the most anxious moment of the match in defence for Celtic all night. Ordenovic is protesting. A free kick's been given on the goal line for a very reckless challenge. Well, there are all sorts of problems here as the ball was deflected towards Marshall. There's Greiner. He's late and he's reckless. And having been booked already, that could have been the end of his involvement in the match. He's been a lucky player, I reckon. So a second change is made by Celtic. Steve Fulton comes on, Andy Payton goes off, so that shores up the Celtic midfield. Creaney will be left upfield on his own, I reckon. Miller on the right. Fulton gives instructions to Grant and McStay. Collins playing it forward, Rudy back defending. That's Boyd. Grant through the header. Well, Celtic want to have the ball down and play some passes. That's good play by Galloway. Peter Grant's out of the game as Creaney is flagged offside. There will be a hold up here, a treatment for Peter Grant. 1 minute of the match plus injury time remaining. Grant appears to be in a lot of pain there. Certainly not the kind of player to lie down for nothing. Well, Liam Brady just a matter of seconds away from what would be a momentous victory. Jörg Berger on the right there, the Cologne coach. Sheer frustration. Grant is back on his feet. He's going to continue with that damaged elbow. So we're now into injury time. The Celtic hang on to this precious lead. Here's held. Playing it long there for Ordenovic. Can he get there in time? He did extremely well. So did Fuchs. Well, Henry Fuchs really has been a thorn in the flesh of the Celtic defence since coming on as substitute. And Ordenovic showed remarkable pace here to keep this in play. After Helt played that very good pass to the byline, Ordenovic played it across. That could have been so disastrous for Celtic. There's Fulton. Taking the ball to the corner flag, wasting some time, inviting Weiser to tackle, or Baumann. If he's given a free kick against Celtic. Steve Fulton has such talent in that left foot in particular. To calm things down and keep possession in midfield. Up goes Mowbray, he's beaten by Jensen. And the final whistle goes. Celtic have qualified. It's been an outstanding performance, and John Collins accepts the congratulations of his teammates for a splendid goal, 9 minutes from the end. The goal which Celtic richly deserved on the night. After a difficult, slow start in the opening half hour, they were inspired by Paul McStay's opener in 36 minutes, lifted further by Gerry Creaney in 39, and then Collins produced that little bit of magic at the end. It's a momentous victory for Celtic. which does their standing in Scotland and in Europe immense good. And indeed, for these Celtic supporters, a night of supreme joy after the recent troubled times. It's a great Celtic performance. They are the winners of the night by 3 goals to 0. It's 3-2 in aggregate, and Mowbray 2 departs a Celtic hero. It's a great night for Celtic.
Liam, how does that rate in your career so far as Celtic manager?
Well, I think it's got to be the best match so far. I'm glad to be in the next round. I hope there's a few more to come.
Were you confident all the time that things were going to go Celtic's way?
Well, before the game, I thought if we didn't concede a goal, that we had every chance of winning it. I thought it may go to extra time for us to win it, but I really felt we had a chance if we didn't concede a goal. Now, before we got the goal, we hadn't been playing particularly well. In fact, they looked the better side. But goals can change tempos of matches. They can lift players, and that's exactly what happened. Paul's strike goes in. All of a sudden, we believe we can do it. Colgne, not so confident anymore, and we went on from there.
You've gone 9 games without having a clean sheet. Were you concerned in the late stages that you might lose one?
I was, yeah, of course you are. Everybody's nervous. All 30,000 of us here are nervous. I'm sure you were nervous as well, John. But technically, they're very good and they're very quick, and they got into areas and gave us problems, especially down their left side in the last few minutes. But my lads did very well, especially Mowbray and Galloway at the centre of the defence, and I thought Marshall did particularly well. He didn't make any mistakes. Did
you feel, in fact, individual performances made a big contribution, generally?
Yes, you'd have to say John Collins for his 2 goals, especially the second goal. Not the winner, the second goal. You won't see a better goal than that, I don't think.
Well, we're not giving him that one, I've got to say. We're giving that to Gerry Creaney.
Pardon? Was it deflected?
It was deflected. We think it was going wide and Creaney deflected.
Really? Oh, well, yeah.
He was quick to claim it.
I'll tell John that. He won't be too happy.
But generally speaking, what impact might this have, do you think, on the whole club?
Well, it's been a difficult 2 weeks, that's all it's been. We've lost 2 league games to Hibs and to Partick, games that we were expected to win here at Parkhead. With a lot of criticism. Some of it was true, you know. We can't expect to challenge Rangers and do well in the league if we keep losing stupid points, silly points. But there was criticism saying that there wasn't spirit at the club, and I think we proved tonight that that's certainly not lacking.
John, are you prepared to accept that you might not have scored Celtic's second goal tonight?
Well, I know Gerry definitely got a touch. I struck the ball well. The most important thing is it went in the back of the net. Doesn't really matter who scored it.
Tell us about the thinking for the third goal, which was definitely yours.
Yeah, the third goal, I think I just picked up on the left there, and I ran at the defender and kept backing off, and he finally committed himself, and I just really poked it in the corner.
How did you feel about the Celtic overall performance tonight, in view of the criticism in recent weeks?
I think it was a fantastic team performance. The lads worked tirelessly for each other, and of course the fans got behind us. I think it was a magnificent performance.
Paul, is there a feeling that you've made the critics eat their words tonight?
We're just happy to be through to the next round. We knew it would take a big effort from the players on the park and the management staff, but most of all the fans tonight. Needed them to get behind us, and they did so.
From your personal point of view, when you decided to stay here at Celtic Park, was this a sort of occasion which would influence the thinking?
Yeah, I've savoured nights like this before, and there's nothing to beat them. And again, we made it hard for ourselves by losing. The second goal in Colgne, I thought, made it a wee bit more difficult a task. But we had the self-belief, and when we went out tonight, we knew if we worked hard enough, we would get something at the end of the night.
Tell me your recollection of your own goal, the first one.
It's the ball just came across, and Big Tony did well to get up and get a touch to it, and I was just in the right place at the right time, really. And Old Faithful, the left foot, just struck it well enough, and it gave us